877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com, Phil's Gang Radio Show. You know, we just went through a 1,900-point stock market drop, fastest drop ever in 2 days. Most of you panicked. At Phil's Gang, we didn't look at it as a crash. We looked at it as an opportunity because we were short. Why? Because I was able to teach my students how to read a chart, so in advance, they would know that the market was going to go down. It's all about learning. It's always amazed me, our whole life. Someone teaches us to play baseball. Someone teaches us to ski. Someone teaches us how to drive a car. But there's nobody there to teach you how to invest in a stock. And that's where I come in. I think I have the best teaching format in the country. Check it out. It's philsgang.com. So you'll be so comfortable. You don't care if the market's going down or the market's going up. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. You know, everybody's been panicked about the crash. You've been told by CNBC there wasn't going to be a crash. The stocks were cheap. I've been telling you just the opposite. I've been telling you that going all the way back to June 2014. And then again, 2015, both May and July, and I said to start shorting. And if you were a gang member, you'd be pretty happy right now. Join my gang. Learn how to short.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. You know, on May 29th, I warned that a stock market crash was coming. I also warned in July. Both times, I was watching my technology, my PT2 chart, and it turned from green to red. Both in May and July, we had substantial warnings. We saw the industrials fall. We saw that the market, the Chinese market was falling, was getting worse. Oil was falling. Copper was falling. Everything was falling. But again, CNBC was telling you, hey, things are cheap. Diversify. Everything's wonderful. But my chart was giving me something different. And on both those occasions, both in May and July, I told my gang, let's short the stock market now because my PT2 chart indicated a sell-off was coming in. And we did. And we had a wonderful ride all the way down. Join my gang, Phil's Gang.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Donald Trump learned the values of hard work, determination, and faith at an early age. He went on to build one of the world's most iconic brands and companies, which employs thousands of people. Donald Trump is running for president because politicians are all talk and no action. They will never make our country great again. He'll stop illegal immigration and drug trafficking by building a wall on our southern border, and he will make Mexico pay for it. He will negotiate great trade deals and make our military so strong, no country will ever mess with us. Donald Trump will protect Israel.
Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. Donald Trump's ad. I love the part where he says, no country's going to mess with us. You know what? Iceland. I love Iceland because nobody messes with Iceland, especially the bankers. Do you know they got hit harder than we did in 2008? Little Iceland, a little tiny country like that with 300,000 people, a GDP of, I don't know, what is 15 billion? Little tiny country. But you know what they did? They put their banksters in jail. 300,000 citizens. That's on the island. This is Denmark, rather. 19 billion GDP. And they weren't going to let them get away with it. Isn't that great? See, unlike President Bush, who rewarded the bad behavior of our banksters by bailing them out with a secret almost $250 billion. Excuse me. And unlike President Obama and Holder, who refused to prosecute these banksters, after all, why would Holder prosecute his own clients, for heaven's sakes? That's crazy, right?
I am concerned that the size of some of these institutions becomes so large that it does become difficult for us to prosecute them when we are hit with indications that if you do prosecute, if you do bring a criminal charge, it will have a negative impact on the national economy.
Well, how come it didn't have a national impact on this little tiny economy? On Iceland, rather. I keep saying Denmark. Iceland. A 19 billion GDP, but they put them in jail. Population, 327,000. They put them in jail. You know why Holder then put them in jail? Because they were his clients. That's right, you know that. Burling-Coving, his office in Washington, represented all the banksters. Didn't put them in jail. Isn't this terrific? They put them in jail. They announced it today. They went to jail, 26 of them. The charges range from breach of fiduciary duties to market manipulation to embezzlement. Exactly what our banksters did. Oh, and then Holder, 3 weeks before he left office, he said, well, I'm going to have all my people really look into these bankers and see if they did anything wrong before I leave. He came back and reported, no manipulation of the markets? Are you kidding? No embezzlement? Are you kidding? How about breach of fiduciary duties, for heaven's sakes? You couldn't nail him on that? Of course not. He represents them. Holder represents him. Covington, his law firm. When the recession hit Iceland, it hit hard. 3 of their banks failed. They had like 5 banks. Defaults of $114 billion. $114 billion. They have a GDP of $19 billion. But instead of doing what Bush did, turned his back on the Constitution, turned his back on the capitalism, turned his back on the free market system, he runs to the vault, bails out the banks. They didn't do that. Iceland, on the other hand, the first thing they did, they introduced currency controls. First thing they did. Then they made sure they had support for their poor. So if anything went bad, all their poor were taken care of. Then they let the banks fail after that. They didn't even introduce one austerity program. Then they prosecuted these bankers who caused the 2008 crash in their country. 28 of them. 28. Here it is, 28 went to jail. Now, it didn't solve the problem. I'm not saying it solved the problem, but here's what it did. It sent a strong message to the banksters. Don't try that again. You think they'll try that again? Of course not. You want to know what the message we sent to our banksters? Try it again. Go ahead, try it again. Because after all, our banksters are who? Who are the banksters? The Federal Reserve, the syndicate. We have a syndicate of bankers called Federal Reserve. I keep telling you that. That's who these guys were. So the message that was sent to our banksters who own the who owns the Federal Reserve, the message sent to them by our Congress, by our president, by our Department of Justice was, hey, we're going to pay you your bonuses, your back bonuses. Oh, and not only that, but we're going to pay you back the Christmas bonuses that you missed. Then we're going to create an atmosphere in which you can grow even bigger. So big that we have to bail you out. And we're going to put it right in the Dodd-Frank bill that we will bail you out. The taxpayers will make sure they bail you out again. At the end, you're going to be too big to fail, too big to jail, too big to tax. And we're not going to prosecute you when this happens again. We're going to do the same thing all over again. Oh, by the way, though, here's what I want to do. I want to fine you. Oh, don't worry about it, though, because the fines we levy on you, you can write them off. We're going to change the law. We're going to change the law. We're going to have the Federal Reserve, the owners of the Federal Reserve, contact the Congress and tell them to change the law, and they did immediately because Congress is owned by the Federal Reserve. And you can write off all the fines. Write them off. Tax deductible. So that means your shareholders are going to pay them, not you. None of you personally are going to pay them. And you're not going to go to jail. But you know what? I want a 3% kickback. That's what Holder got out of it. A 3% kickback for the Department of Justice, which he could take any kind of bonus he wanted, and he took bonuses before he left. Out of that 3%. Bailing out the banks made the owners of the banks richer. But it created humongous, massive income inequality that Main Street is now suffering. If you don't think there's anything, you've got to think, I should say, more important than the politicians, the new president getting rid of Obamacare is getting rid of the Federal Reserve. Get rid of the Federal Reserve and come back, get these banksters and put them in jail. Come back, pass a law that you can go back and get them. This is crazy, isn't it? Unbelievable. But anyways, there's a little hope there, right? That's good news. Love it. Hey, the stock market, again, today they're trying like heck. The owners of the stock market, the owners of the Federal Reserve, they're trying like hell today to tag the all-time high in May of 2015 on the S&P, which right now, let me take a look at it. They're struggling to do it, but they're trying to tag 2,133. They're almost there. But here's the funny thing about that. We went from 1,867 to 2,133, 12%. And our earnings are going down. Our earnings are going down. Imagine that. Isn't that incredible? Our earnings are going down. That's why you got to be involved in the market, because it's no longer about companies. It's no longer about the profits they make. It has nothing to do with it anymore. So you got to be part of the market, for heaven's sakes. We're going to take a look at the market when we get back, right after this break. Join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Call right now.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Middle-class economics works.
Works? Where? Show me where it works. You tell us the unemployment rate is 5.1%, and you only get to 5.1% by making sure people don't have a job. Think of August. August, the unemployment rate went down to 5.1% because 200,000 people couldn't find a job. If they found a job, our unemployment rate would be at 10%. Isn't this amazing? Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Aren't you sick of this stuff? Aren't you sick of these politicians? They keep lying to us. And you know, Wall Street does too. And how many times have you said, boy, I hate Wall Street. I hate the stock market. But that's the best place in the world to make money. But you need a lesson. You need a lesson on how to invest. That's where I come in. Join my gang, philsgang.com. the best teaching format in the country when you want to learn how to invest in stocks. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Philsgang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Philsgang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. What is Philsgang? Philsgang.com is a subscription website service that host Phil Grande has been teaching and providing daily stock investment recommendations for over 15 years, all in the name of making its customers educated investors and helping the kids at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you want to take charge of your financial future, then do not wait any longer. For only $49.95, become a Philsgang member today. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com, Phil's Gang Radio Show. You know, we just went through a 1,900-point stock market drop, fastest drop ever in 2 days. Most of you panicked. At Phil's Gang, we didn't look at it as a crash. We looked at it as an opportunity because we were short. Why? Because I was able to teach my students how to read a chart, so in advance, they would know that the market was going to go down. It's all about learning. It's always amazed me, our whole life. Someone teaches us to play baseball. Someone teaches us to ski. Someone teaches us how to drive a car. But there's nobody there to teach you how to invest in a stock. And that's where I come in. I think I have the best teaching format in the country. Check it out. It's philsgang.com. So you'll be so comfortable. You don't care if the market's going down or the market's going up. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything will be taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel on YouTube.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Let me give you the number. You can join the gang. It's 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG or 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. It's $49.95 a month. That's it. That's it. Invest in yourself before you invest in the market. And stop with these 401ks. I'm not telling you to get rid of the 401ks totally. I'm not telling you that at all. I told you that before. You're not just going to dump your 401ks, but you're never going to make any money with your 401ks. 401k is a failed experiment. It's been a big lie. If you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 7%, if you're lucky at 7%, you would have $945,000 in retirement savings. You think that's pretty good. Well, wait a minute. Now deduct 62% of that $945 for fees. For fees. That's right. So on your $945,000, you were told your total fees would be 1.25% or $190,000, leaving you with $745,000. That's not true. It's not true at all, because they're not telling you about the 28 hidden administrative fees. They don't have to tell you about the 28 hidden administrative fees that they hide in the net asset value of your 401k mutual fund that amounts to another nearly $200,000 against your $904,000. That's right. So you got to deduct that now. So you're left out of your $945,000, $360,000. So if you work for 30 years, you keep putting away $10,000 a year, you're going to end up, when you're all done, $360,000, not the $945,000. Is that crooked or what? Isn't that ridiculous? See, they don't have to tell you about the hidden fees, because here are the rules.
What's a financial advisor?
That is a term that means almost nothing. It is somebody who might be a financial planner, or it could be a broker who is really a salesperson.
Right, and what else?
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
The rule.
That's right, partners and shareholders, and that's it. They don't have to tell you about those fees. So there is another way that you can start accumulating. You join the gang, and there's two different things you can do. You can we have 5 stocks for the gang. They follow those 5 stocks every day. If you're busy, you're real busy, you don't have time to do anything, this is perfect for you. Just perfect for you. The 5 same stocks all year. That's it. And all during the day, we bring you up to keep you up to date on those 5 stocks, what's going on with the 5 stocks. You don't have to worry about the 5 stocks. And then when we finish, when the stock continues to go up and they stop going up and they turn around and come down, you're going to already be in a position not only to get your money out before they start coming back down, but you're going to be in a position to make money as they come down, because on the 5 stocks, we short them for you. So it's just 5 stocks that we follow. And we're all over those stocks all day long. It's Schlumberger, Goldman Sachs, Intel, Caterpillar, IBM. 5 great stocks. See, that's what you need. The idea of these 401ks are a joke. Now, listen to what, and not only can you not trust these people on Wall Street, you can't trust our government. You can't trust that private company called the Federal Reserve. We talked all about that. Listen to Yellen again today.
At this point, I see the U.S. economy as performing well.
Performing well. Performing well, she says. Performing well. We have the lowest labor participation rate since 1995. Performing well.
The committee indicated in our most recent statement that we thought it could be appropriate to adjust rates at our next meeting.
Boy, I can't wait to see what happens to the automobile industry when you start adjusting rates upward. Wow. That's why I already have our gang members already positioned, so when they start dropping, we'll be making money on them. She says, what? We got great performance?
At this point,
yeah.
I see the U.S. economy as performing well.
Well, your glasses must be all fogged up or something, because our labor participation rate has never been this low since 1955. Home ownership rate has never been this low since 1967. We had the lowest wages in 20 years. Now, as a result of all that terrible news, our top line sales revenues of our top companies have plunged, causing a 10-year low in factory orders. If you don't have money to buy stuff, factory orders go down. Manufacturing, industrial production, retail sales, household spending, disposable income, durable goods, all on decline. They're all declining due to lack of good full-time jobs. There's no good full-time jobs available. So the wages are stagnant. There's no overtime. They've taken our full-time jobs and turned them into part-time, waitress, bartenders, waiters. Manufacturing, industrial production has fallen off a cliff. The growth rate of consumer spending has just plummeted to a multi-year low. Retail sales have hit a 9-year low. As a result of all this, we have an increase in part-time jobs from 4.5 million to 8 million part-time jobs, for a historic 28 million part-time low-paying jobs, with more than 75% of the 28 million slipping into poverty. That's a 50% increase since Obama took office. So we have very few jobs. So if she wants to keep selling us how things are great, and that's her job, because remember, she works for the Federal Reserve, this private company of elitists, who they get rich with interest rates low. Main Street gets clobbered. Think about this. This is interesting. So our revenues, our earnings have been going down, but our stock market's been going up. And think about this. The Dow in 2009 was at 7,483. Today it's 17,929. Over 10,000 points, and you weren't in the market. You got into fixed income products. What are you, nuts? We'll talk about that when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
From the perspective of the U.S. economy, I think we've seen continuing signs of strength.
Continuing signs of strength? What are you, nuts? Household spending dropped to its lowest level since 2008. Retail sales dropped to its lowest level in 9 years. Wages to its lowest level in 30 years. Disposable income to its lowest level in 40 years. Home ownership to its lowest level in 30 years. What's he talking about? That's Jack Lew, our Treasury Secretary. We can't trust anything that comes out of Washington or Wall Street. And that's why I want you to join Phil's Gang. My name is Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Well, the reason you stay away from the stock market because you're fearful, because no one has taught you how to invest. You go to school to learn how to do math. You go to school to learn how to drive. Why don't you go to school to learn how to invest using charts? Join my gang. philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. You know, on May 29th, I warned that a stock market crash was coming. I also warned in July. Both times, I was watching my technology, my PT2 chart, and it turned from green to red. Both in May and July, we had substantial warnings. We saw the industrials fall. We saw that the market, the Chinese market was falling, was getting worse. Oil was falling. Copper was falling. Everything was falling. But again, CNBC was telling you, hey, things are cheap. Diversify. Everything's wonderful. But my chart was giving me something different. And on both those occasions, both in May and July, I told my gang, let's short the stock market now because my PT2 chart indicated a sell-off was coming in. And we did. And we had a wonderful ride all the way down. Join my gang, Phil's Gang.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Middle-class economics works.
Works? Where? Show me where it works. You tell us the unemployment rate is 5.1%, and you only get to 5.1% by making sure people don't have a job. Think of August. August, the unemployment rate went down to 5.1% because 200,000 people couldn't find a job. If they found a job, our unemployment rate would be at 10%. Isn't this amazing? Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Aren't you sick of this stuff? Aren't you sick of these politicians? They keep lying to us. You know, Wall Street does too. And how many times have you said, boy, I hate Wall Street. I hate the stock market. But that's the best place in the world to make money. But you need a lesson. You need a lesson on how to invest. That's where I come in. Join my gang, philsgang.com. It's the best teaching format in the country when you want to learn how to invest in stocks. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Our economy has been moving.
Yeah, in the wrong direction. This is the same guy that told us we could keep our doctor and we could keep our health insurance. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Look, I have the best teaching format in the country when it comes to learning how to invest in stocks. People will tell you that. Look, we can't listen to Wall Street. We can't listen to our government. We listen to our charts. That's why you join philsgang.com. Food stamps have exceeded $45 million for 50 straight months, and he's telling us things are good. What are you, nuts?
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Phil's Gang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Phil's Gang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. Remember, on May 29th and July 28th, I said to short the market. The market was going to experience a correction. How did I know? My PT2. Check it out. This is not a crash for us. We're experiencing a correction because we are now making money on our stocks because we're shorting it. Using our PT2 identified for us when they were pulling their money out, both in May and July, and we were right there to pull our money out too. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by Phil's Talking Trader Stock Charts.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, Yellen knows that the economy is not recovering. Who is she kidding? She knows it's not recovering. As long as the market keeps going up, that's all they want. The Federal Reserve, the private company, their job, keep rates low and keep this market going up. Now think about this. This is all they've done. The economy's doing terrible, but think about how far this market has moved. 10,000 points. 10,000 points. Not because you have a full-time job, not because you have your savings, not because your retirement's all set, not because things are great, because interest rates were at zero. That's why the market since 2009 went from about 7,800 to 10,800, and you missed it. These stupid planners and money managers put you in instead these fixed products. Now, I understand why, because when the market crashed, you got scared. You said, I just want to protect my principal. They should have sat and explained to you, look, a bomb's not going to hit the same crater twice, the same point twice. We've already got slaughtered. Now's the time to get back in. You should, and then, but you know what? If you were with us, every day we'd work with you. There was nothing to be afraid of. Let me give you an example. The S&P. Now, the S&P on our chart, about 199, around 200, just started to turn green. We waited till it got to 202. Now, that was in October. So now it's up 6%. So that was around October 22nd. Today is November 5th. And you got a nice 5% return. Nice and safe. You're going to keep that return. You're not going to get caught if there's a market crash. Nice and safe. And you didn't have to do a thing. You don't have to do anything. We guide you all the way through it. The S&P. What is wrong with the S&P? That's the best product in the world. I mean, S&P is a beautiful product. There's not. It's a beautiful product. It's not like a mutual fund. Your mutual fund managers are terrible. They want to make a name for themselves. They'll sell their best performers, and they hold on to their dogs. So they can say, look at this. I'm up so much. I'm up 10% now. Yeah, but wait a minute. You sold all my best stocks. I'm left with all my dogs. Then he moves on to another mutual fund, and he'll brag, I managed $500 trillion. Well, you didn't tell them that you left all the dogs behind, and the people who are there now are going to lose all their money. The S&P is a perfect product for people. You don't need that who are busy, and then all you do is follow us every day, and we follow it every day for you. It's so easy. It doesn't have, and the nice thing about you don't have all the problems you have with mutual funds. When they sell those best performers, remember, and they hold on to the dogs, they got to distribute capital gains. Now you got tax problems, tax consequences for all the other investors. That's ridiculous. The Spider ETF, you don't. On the other hand, it's a trust. They do not distribute capital gains like mutual funds. So there's everything that's so much better about the Spiders ETF. They don't cause all these tax consequences. But this way, you got somebody every day watching this for you. So join the gang. Just try it, and then eventually you say, no, I'm going to get rid of my 401k. This is the way to go. This is for somebody who's very, very busy. Just stay with that one S&P product. That's it. The Spiders. And it has so much more advantages than just the tax advantages. It has so many more advantages over these stupid mutual funds that you have inside your 401k. Because remember, ETFs, they trade like a stock, unlike a mutual fund. An ETF will let you set your risk. They'll let you put in a stop. So if we say we're going to buy at 202, the S&P at 202, we can say we're going to put a stop in at 201. So if it drops below that, you're automatically out. Or it goes from 202 up to 210, and now you got a 6% gain. You can say, I'm going to stay in it, but I think I'm going to put a stop in at 208. Move my stop up to 208. So if it comes back from 210 to 208, guess what? You get stopped automatically. You can't lose that money. That's the beautiful thing. You can't do that with a 401k with the mutual fund they have tied to you. You can't do that. Or even better, this market's going to collapse one day. We can't wait to a collapse because it goes down 10 times faster than it goes up. And it will turn red, and then we'll sell it short. You don't do that. You can't do that with your 401k. You've got to sit there and every day call your broker. What should we do? It's going down. We're down 10% now. We're down 15%. What should I do? What should I do? They say, oh, it's a good company. Don't worry. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on to what? Are you nuts? This is crazy. There's 89 million people who invest in these stupid 401k mutual funds. $4.5 trillion they put in these 401ks. They're a total failure. They're a total disgrace. They're a disgrace because of the fees they steal from you. Most people don't even understand they're paying a fee. A 2% fee wipes out 63% of your retirement money, but you're not paying 2%. They got 28 other hidden fees, like when they trade your stocks during the day. So they have a mutual fund in your 401k, and then the guy that takes care of it, he's there trading it all day long. He'll do 20, 30, 40, 50 trades a day to make money for himself. Guess who pays the commission? You, but you don't see it because they bury it in a net asset value. Are you kidding? What you pay in S&P, you pay like something like in 1800s or 1%. That's it. That's it. The 401k, you got to deduct 2% a year for investment costs, pay a quarter what's left to Uncle Sam, lose another 2% to inflation. You're left with 1% a year. It takes you 70 years to double your money if you live that long. So check it out. So join the gang. We'll assist you with that every day. especially if you're busy. Now, if you want to do more than you have time, you want to do a little bit more than the spiders, then you can use our PT1 chart. And that's the 5 stocks that we follow every day. And we're doing terrific with those 5 stocks. Terrific. And again, it's because we follow the same 5. You know, it's really you know, I read this thing today about Iceland, and it really made me sick to think what we did. Think of what we did. Instead, we rewarded these banks. That's crazy. We should have let the weak banks go under. The strong banks survive. Then we should have embraced the opportunity of real economic growth for Main Street, which comes from savings and capital investment. Instead, Bush, no, he did the opposite. He and his elitist cronies at the Federal Reserve did the exact opposite. They shifted money away from Main Street to Wall Street. And then Obama takes over. And he continued down the same path. So instead of economic growth from savings and capital investment, he put in a devastating policy for Main Street, which was to what? Lower savings rate from 5% to a 10% so they subsidize zero interest on the money they loaned to the banks and to the hedge funds, to the elitists, which made the stock market rally from 7,000 to 17,000. Not because the economy was doing good. We're upside down. The economy is supposed to grow the stock market. The stock market is propping up the economy. And that was the idea behind it. Take the owners of these banks, let them make a fortune, and we'll prop up the economy. People think we got a good economy. Then we'll get yelling out there. She's so stupid. She doesn't know the difference. She's, hey, we got a great economy. The idea was to rally the stock market so the elitists whose capital is tied to stocks could get back the money they lost in 2008. And to mask that phony economy,
or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. You know, on May 29th, I warned that a stock market crash was coming. I also warned in July. Both times, I was watching my technology, my PT2 chart, and it turned from green to red. Both in May and July, we had substantial warnings. We saw the industrials fall. We saw that the market, the Chinese market was falling, was getting worse. Oil was falling. Copper was falling. Everything was falling. But again, CNBC was telling you, hey, things are cheap. Diversify. Everything's wonderful. But my chart was giving me something different. And on both those occasions, both in May and July, I told my gang, let's short the stock market now, because my PT2 chart indicated a sell-off was coming in. And we did. And we had a wonderful ride all the way down. Join my gang, Phil's Gang.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Our economy has been moving.
Yeah, in the wrong direction. This is our doctor, and we could keep our health insurance. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Look, I have the best teaching format in the country when it comes to learning how to invest in stocks. People will tell you that. Look, we can't listen to Wall Street. We can't listen to our government. We listen to our charts. That's why you join philsgang.com. Food stamps have exceeded 45 million for 50 straight months, and he's telling us things are good. What are you, nuts?
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com, Phil's Gang Radio Show. You know, we just went through a 1,900-point stock market drop, fastest drop ever in 2 days. Most of you panicked. At Phil's Gang, we didn't look at it as a crash. We looked at it as an opportunity because we were short. Why? Because I was able to teach my students how to read a chart, so in advance, they would know that the market was going to go down. It's all about learning. It's always amazed me, our whole life. Someone teaches us to play baseball. Someone teaches us to ski. Someone teaches us how to drive a car. But there's nobody there to teach you how to invest in a stock. And that's where I come. I think I have the best teaching format in the country. Check it out. It's philsgang.com. So you'll be so comfortable. You don't care if the market's going down or the market's going up. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
From the perspective of the U.S. economy, I think we've seen continuing signs of strength.
Continuing signs of strength? What are you, nuts? Household spending dropped to its lowest level since 2008. Retail sales dropped to its lowest level in 9 years. Wages to its lowest level in 30 years. Disposable income to its lowest level in 40 years. Home ownership to its lowest level in 30 years. What's he talking about? That's Jack Lew, our Treasury Secretary. We can't trust anything that comes out of Washington or Wall Street. And that's why I want you to join Phil's Gang. My name is Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Well, the reason you stay away from the stock market because you're fearful, because no one has taught you how to invest. You go to school to learn how to do math. You go to school to learn how to drive. Why don't you go to school to learn how to invest using charts? Join my gang, philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join the gang, 877-600-GANG. Now, as I said, if you want to come join the gang, try the S&P, the Exchange Traded Fund. It works. And we're with you all the way through it. All the way through, we coach you. Or you can follow the same 5 stocks that we follow every day and coach you along with those stocks. Matter of fact, Caterpillar, just give you an example, we're up 17%. But let's say we're only up 8%. Say some of the gang members got in later, 8%. Now we are going to know in the last 2 days that it started to come back a little bit. So we told them, okay. 2 days ago, we said, let's start taking some profits. So now we guide them back. We'll say, all right, let's take some, and then we're going to watch it. It's still very, very good. We still got a lot of buyers coming in, but we had them take some profits. So we'll guide them. We'll say, okay, now start pulling back some profits. And then we see more money coming in from the institutions and the Federal Reserve. The boys come in and start buying more of the stock. JP Morgan buys more of the stock. Then we'll say, okay, they're putting in more stock. Let's buy a little more. This is what we do. All you got to do is we're archived. All day long, I'm giving you updates on the 5 stocks. You have 1 or 2 of those 5 stocks you follow along. What a beautiful thing. So give us a call, 877-600-GANG. Look, Yellen knows that the economy is not recovering in spite of what she's saying. It's simply being kept from collapsing by the 0% interest rates. And it's qualified easy. And when that support goes, the economy will implode. You don't go from 10,000. You don't go from 7,000 on the Dow to almost 18,000. You don't go up 8,000 points or more than 10,000 points unless you have real good sales, real good earnings. You take those earnings and you invest them back into the companies. You plow them back into the companies. Research and development, buy new factories, build new factories, new equipment, new IT spending, and make sure you train employees, hire new people. That's what you do with profits. They didn't do that. They took all the profits and said, let's buy our stock. We got to buy our stock because we don't have any sales, and therefore our earnings are going to come down. That means our stock's going to come down. We can't let the people see that. So let's go and we'll take the profits we have. We'll borrow more from the owners of the Federal Reserve, of the private bank called Federal Reserve, and then we'll put that money together and we'll buy our stock so there's less stock. So that way we're spreading our earnings over fewer stocks, and the earnings will go right back up and the stock will go back up. This is what they've been doing for 6 years. It's called a bubble. It's a prop-up. She knows that. Main Street small businesses was the solution to this recovery, but Obama never used it in the last 6 years. He never delivered that solution. He knew. He knew because the small businesses create a real job program. Small businesses was perfect, but it contradicted his core principles of redistribution of wealth, where life is fair and all things are equal. Obama knew all these years, if he used small business as his solution, his base of welfare recipients who had gotten so grumpy, his crony contributors, the elitists, his pals, who owned the Federal Reserve would have gotten real grumpy. So he knows the welfare people, the elitist rich, all would have been grumpy if he went and he supported the small business. Because why? The rich would get upset because to support the small business, that means she would have had to raise rates. That goes against exactly what makes the stock market go up, and they wouldn't be making all this money that they're making. So he knew it was small business to fix this. And he knew if he went and helped the small businesses, then all the people on welfare would get angry. That's a big group of his voters. He knows that. See, and here's why the poor would have got so angry and why he couldn't go and use the solution, the small business. We certainly know why the big boys didn't want businesses to do well, because she would have had to prop the interest rates up. They would never make the money they're making. For the last 6 years, Obama could have grown the economy from a pathetic 2% to 5% and create many full-time, high-paying jobs. His solution to do that was the small business because they create those kind of jobs. But Obama would have had to raise the interest rates that we just talked about. He's not going to do that. But here's the problem. Obama, for years, he's been putting in what we call a poverty mindset. He's been telling the poor how mean and how bad people who have money are. You know that. It's always those mean, bad people that have money. So think about what he did. So he's sitting there taking care of the elitists, lowering rates. Then he's got to mask that. He's helping them. So he sets this poverty mindset in place. So he tells all the poor, hey, you know what? These people are bad. The people who make money are bad. Wealth is bad. Here he is, the most decisive president in history. He and Al Sharpton and other liberals wanted the poor to think that the real poor to think their role was that of a helpless victim. In other words, poverty was a mindset. And boy, there's nothing worse, nothing more destructive than a mindset of poverty. Because you believe everything that is happening to you is because of somebody else, outside forces. It's the doing of others. It's always someone else's fault. I'm the victim. It's those people who have money. See, and this is what Obama did. He made the poor really believe that people with money are mean and they're the victim. See, because he couldn't let them know that he was what he was really doing was helping out the wealthy. He kept saying how he kept on demonizing them. But what he was really doing was helping the rich get richer by stealing from the middle class and stealing from the poor, from the bottom up. How did he do that? It's called reverse Robin Hood. How did he do that? Bailing out the banks. You're stealing from the poor, you're stealing from the working poor, you're stealing from the middle class when you bail out the banks. When you do quantitative easing, you're doing that. Corporate welfare. And then you start shredding all these programs for the real poor to provide these enormous tax programs for the wealthiest, for the elitists, and for the corporations. But he couldn't let them see that. So he would demonize the people who produce and the workers and the wealthy and say, boy, they're mean. They're really mean. The mindset he put in place, the poverty mindset, was so dangerous. So he just says, look, here's what we'll do. You just lay back and we're going to give you a free insurance. We're going to give you a free phones. We're going to give you a free everything. Then he was the hero. He was the hero. But on the other side, secretly, what is he doing? He's doing just the opposite. He's helping the very wealthy, the guys who own the Federal Reserve, steal from the poor, from the middle class, by doing the bank bailouts and the quantitative easing and the corporate welfare. That's what happens. Look, we got the new president who comes in. There's got to be a change. He has to start with education in our schools about what's going on. He has to educate the kids. They're not victims. They're not victims. He's got to change this poverty mindset that Obama put in place. The kids today, they need education. They need to realize poverty is just a mindset. You have to take control, which is your first step, especially the freedom, financial freedom. So in the meantime, we know all this. We hope we get a new president who understands this. We hope we get a president that takes and cuts the head off of the Federal Reserve and gets rid of them, because they're killing us. They're killing the middle class. They're killing the working poor. Everything is for, hey, let's keep low interest rates, make everybody else rich. In the meantime, what are we going to do? I'm going to be a hypocrite and make money in the market. So because interest rates are low, the stock market went from 7,000 to 18,000, and you didn't participate? Well, it's not too late, because I'll tell you why. I'm not saying we're going to go back, we're going to go up another 10,000 points. Whatever we go up, we could go up another 5,000 points, 2,000 points. But even if we go down 5,000 points, it doesn't matter, because we're going to make money both ways. Follow me. Join my gang tonight, Phil's gang. Follow me with my 5 stocks. And if you're real busy, just follow us with the S&P Exchange Traded Fund. That's the only one you got to follow. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make my dreams.
Hi, I'm